Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. We're in the first day of the new trading week and the last hour of the current trading day. The last hour is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. I say this because during the day, you have the algorithms and you have the day traders. They are the ones that are in control of the price during the day. At the end of the day, in that last hour, in the last few minutes, the large financial institutions come in. They do a lot of buying and selling. They're dealing with a lot of money, the most size, and they take the control away from the day traders and the algorithms. And I consider what they do at the end of the day as a good guide for me to base my buying and selling decisions on. So thank you all for coming today. I hope that you had a nice long weekend. It was great. And I appreciate you being here. I always look forward to seeing everyone. I think we have such a great group. So thank you so much for coming today. Currently, the Dow is up 67 points, up 0.21%. We were up much higher earlier. The NASDAQ is currently down 41 points, down 0.29%, and the S&P is down 0.25%, so almost completely break even on the day. So here's the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I also did have one day trade today on Apple. It was a good one. I will share that with you. So listen, today is going to be a little change up. Over the weekend, I was really wondering how to deal with all the stock symbols on the board. It was getting to the point logistically where it was really hard for me to do it. And so I was thinking all weekend, how am I going to manage this? What can I do? And my good friend Lova74 sent me a suggestion this morning in the email that made a lot of sense. So I am going to go through all of the your current positions today, but I'm going to make a change. After today, I'm only going to put up the entries for people that are my current students or are my previous students. And I hope this doesn't bum anyone out too much. It's just getting to the point where it's not really manageable or sustainable. And that kind of makes sense. I thought it was a really good idea from Leva because it will cut down on the amount. And then we can spend some more time, learning, looking at setups, so forth and so on, because it was taking up such a huge part. So anyway, I hope this doesn't bum anyone out, but it seemed inevitable to me, and this does sound like a pretty good meet in the middle situation. So after today, I won't be putting up any entries or exits unless you are a past student of mine or a current student of mine. All right, so hope that's okay, and I hope you understand, and thanks for your understanding. So we are going to go through that one last time. After that, we are going to switch gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology. Always important. We definitely can't get rid of that because that is the most important part of trading, is your mindset, creating a plan and following it. So we'll be touching on that. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. I have 3 requirements before I look to enter any new trade. First, I need to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Second, I need to have a good risk to reward ratio, minimum of 2 to 1. If I'm risking $100 to the downside, I need to be able to make 200 or more to the upside. And then number 3, always take a few minutes before you hit that buy button or sell button and make sure, do I really need this position? Is it something I really need? Do I already have positions that are highly correlated to this? Do I already have a high amount of account heat, or in other words, a large percentage of my capital already at risk? Even though you're short, long, doesn't matter. Every position you have can go against you, even if you feel like you are hedged. It's really true. So please keep those things in mind. I do have some potential end of day candidates. I will go through them as we get closer to the close with a fine-tooth comb. I'll look multiple time frames. I'll look for a good risk to reward ratio. And if I find something that fits my criteria at the end of the day, I will go ahead and purchase it. All right. And then after the market closes, if you have any questions for me, if you could please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I think with this new program here with the board, we'll have more time. So if you have any questions about anything in regards to trading, risk management, position sizing, whatever, just go ahead, put those in the board, and we'll spend as much time as we need. And hopefully I'll be able to answer all of your questions. All right. All right, so that is the plan for today. First of all, and lastly, if you do have any of my past students, current students, if you do have any new positions for me today at the end of the day, if you could please wait till the end of the day after the market's closed, I would certainly appreciate that. Okay, so hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look and see who is here today. Lava is here. Lava, thank you so much. That was a great suggestion. I read that and went, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. Brian M is here. Hey, good to see you, Brian. Brian says, hello all. I miss being here and glad to listen today. Well, thank you so much for coming, Brian. It's good to see you again. Tracy is here. Good to see you, Tracy. I'm looking forward to our one-on-one lessons starting tomorrow. That's awesome. I'm really excited to teach you in Paxton. Kamal is here. Hello, Mr. Kamal. Thank you for everything that you do for the channel, my friend. Always appreciate that. Appreciate your friendship. Dan is here. Hey, hey, hey. What's going on, Dan? Hope you're having a good day, and thanks for saying hi. Mr. Steve Burns is here. Good to see you, sir. Always nice to have you, Steve. Always an honor and a privilege to have you in here. I really mean that. You know I do, and I'm sure everyone else feels the same way. Steve says, looks like I will be having several exits today based on bearish reversals on the charts. Yes, we have had quite a lot of reversals for sure. Carlos, what's going on, my friend? Carlos and I had a one-on-one lesson last night, and man, Carlos, so impressed. You did so well. So proud of you and looking forward to our second one. Quad is here. Happy Tuesday, Greg and group. Hello, Quad. Good to see you, buddy. Good chatting with you earlier. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, Mr. Frank. Good to see you, sir. Dan says, makes a lot of sense. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Miko is here. Good afternoon, Greg and all. Appreciate you being here, sir. Tracy says, is Kamal a previous student? I also want to see Steve Burns' positions. Yes, Kamal is a previous student. And yep, I already checked in with Steve on that earlier today. So I think we're covered there, Trace. Dan says, however, your past teachers might be considered to post. However, your past teachers might be considered to post. Oh, yeah, of course, like Steve, right? For sure. Morgs is here. Hi, Greg and all. Sorry, last week, Thursday and Friday, we had no electricity, so I couldn't join in and update my positions. Okay. Did your electricity come back on? Man, that's a pain. I know that's happening in Texas also. Steve says, Greg, if it is easy, you can remove my current positions as you go today, as I'm selling everything based on bearish candles and resistance failures today and going all to cash. Okay, great. Thank you for that. Frank says, happy birthday. Thank you. Yes, it is my birthday today. It is my birthday, almost 30 years old, almost to the big 3-0. No, I'm kidding. I'm an old man. I'm an old man, but thank you very much, Frank. Appreciate that. Gary says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, Mr. Gary. Good to see you. Timothy is here. Good to see you. Happy birthday, Tim says, and thank you for that kind gesture earlier today, Tim. Really appreciate that. And Tim and I are going to dig into some short stuff, hopefully later this week. Yuvar says, hello, everyone. Hello, Yuvar. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Yuvar says, your Udemy course is very educational. I am very impressed with the quality of the teaching material. Thank you, Yuvar. I really appreciate that. In case you don't know, I did create my first online course. It's up on udemy.com. It's called the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. It's very inexpensive. I think they have it on sale. You know how Udemy is. Most of their courses are $10 to $20. I think it's $13. It's 10 hours worth of video, and it's strictly on deep dip buy. So was really glad to see that I sold a bunch of them over the weekend. And so, you know, if you're not able to do private one-on-one lessons with me, it's a good alternative. It's very inexpensive. It's very thorough. 10 hours of video, 15 PDF decks, and I just put the link in there. All right. So, but I'm really glad to hear that, Yuvar. Thank you. David is here. Hello, Greg and group. Hello, David. Nice to see you. Karen says, happy birthday. Good to see you, Karen. Mork says, yes, it has. We often have load shedding here in South Africa. Oh, I've heard that. Johan says, hello, everyone. Happy birthday, Greg. Thank you, Johan. Morg says, happy B-Day, Greg. Thank you, Morgs. Brian says, happy birthday. Mine was on Friday. Oh, was it? We're both Aquariuses. Miko says, happy 30th, Greg. That's right. 30 years old. Well, I'm an adult now. Carlos says, thank you. I'm glad and extremely excited to be on board. Hello, everyone. Yeah, let's welcome Carlos to the group. Thank you, David. All right, well, let's get going. First of all, CNK. Kamal says, happy birthday, Greg. The one-on-one course price increased today. Hopefully they won't card you going forward. Yes, that's right. My one-on-one course did increase today because it is my birthday. So I feel like I'm making all these announcements on one day, bummer announcements, but you know, the reason I had to increase the prices, I have so many students, I just don't have the time. Honestly, that's really what it came down to. But okay. Let's start here real quick, then we'll go back and we're going to read Frank's poem. CNK. All right. I did buy CNK Cinemark Holdings. I believe I'm the only one. Yes. And by the way, if there is a trade that one of the students or myself or Steve's in, if you're in that one, I definitely will put you up on the board. But I did buy Cinemark Holdings here at 2052 back on the 10th. It's currently 21.12. It's up 2.62% today. I did hit one profit target today at 21.37. Still needs to move 1.5 ATRs for my entry before I go into trailing stop mode, but so far so good. And I took this with a break of the fractal. Here's a high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right, plus a V2. And so good little trade so far, up 2.62% today. Earnings are coming up, by the way, on the 19th. Of course, I will exit the trade before earnings like I always would. Johnson & Johnson. Yes, Dan and myself are in Johnson & Johnson. I bought this with the false breakout to the downside, V2. I bought it at 161.64. Moved up nicely. We had this reversal bar here. I didn't like it. I sold half, which right now it looks like that was a good idea. It went down, went down. I will be getting out of this trade today and locking in profits if it closes below the 5 EMA. We got up near the 65 RSI. If I get up near the 65 RSI and then I get a close below the 5 EMA, I'm going to be out of the trade. So unless this rallies at the end of the day, which it could, I will be completely locking in profits and getting out of Johnson & Johnson today. NVTA. All right, Gary, Quad Racer, Johan and I, we did buy NVTA back here on the 8th at 50.81, moved up, took some profits sideways, almost hit a profit target today. I missed it by 4 or 5 cents, unfortunately. My stop on the day here is going to be a close below this red line, which is halfway the washout bar. Even if it doesn't close below, I'm going to get out because this is a V2 that just hasn't done anything. And you know, after 2-3 days with the V2, V1, V2, if it hasn't done anything, I'm just going to get out of it and look for something better. So this one is going to be a slight loss, but I'm glad that I took some profits up here when I had them. PSNL, Yas, Johnson, Frank, Gary, and myself did buy PSNL on the 12th. We bought it at 40.45 with a nice V2, under 50, over 50, under the 50 RSI, over the 50 RSI. Bought it at 40.45. Today it screamed on up. I was glad to hit one profit target at 42.20. Now it's 39.95, so I hit it much higher. I'm going to have to watch the RSI on this today. It's 49.21. If it holds above 50, I'll give it another day and hold it. But if it does close below 50, I will just have to get out of half of my position. If I'm in a V1, V2, if I ever reject the 50 RSI or the 50 SMA, I get out of half immediately, even if it hasn't hit my end of day stop, which is halfway the washout bar. So it is slightly down today, but glad for the profit target earlier. Spotify has been one heck of a trade. Morgs and myself did buy Spotify here. I bought a half a position at 334.03 with the 1030 EMA cross. Moved sideways for a few days, and today had a huge up move. I hit a profit target at 346.91, 354.12, and 361.33. I will be getting out of this today as well. I don't like the big sell-off at the top here, pushing it all down. It's been a great trade. I think, well, let's take a look. Yeah, 4.73% in about a week. So not too shabby. I will be exiting Spotify today. Spy. I did buy Spy on Friday at 392.64. I sold it at the open today at 394.06, right at the top, and it has gone down ever since. So of course, this is a wash, rinse, and repeat type of trade. Of course, I will be buying this today again at the close, holding it overnight, selling it first thing the next morning. Okay, then on to Apple. I did have an Apple day trade today. A really good one, by the way. Right here, and let me show you the big picture so I can put it in context. Here we have a low with deep MACD bars. We rally into green. We come back here, we make a lower low, but this lower low, the red bars were very, very shallow compared to how deep they were over here. This means it's a double bottom with a bullish divergence. That is a bullish setup, but once you have the setup, you still need the trigger. This was my trigger. It was a V1. Here's bar 1, bar 2. Bar 2 washes out bar 1, closes above. Also went under 30. Back over 30. So it was a confluence of signals, and boy, I nailed that one right. I got in at 132.92. Next bar went screaming up. I sold half at 133.29. Next bar went screaming up, rejected the 1 ATR channel. That was enough. I took the whole thing off. So I got in at 132.92, out at 133.29, and out at 133.48. And then, as very often happens, it went up a little bit more, and I went, I guess I should have kept it. But then as often happens, it went back down after that big picture. So it looks like those were good entries. And by the way, Frank has a trade on Apple here at 111. It's currently 133.25. So it is down a little bit on the day, but Frank is nicely up from 111 up to 133.25. So, man, I feel guilty for doing this, Frank, but I am going to go ahead and take this off just to start cleaning up as we go. Hope that's okay. All right. Now, let's take a look at, Frank has a poem for us. Let's see if I can read it. Bring on the cake with the candles alight to a teacher with purpose who helps us trade right. And thank you for a podcast that's such a delight. Oh, man. Frank, I got my own birthday poem. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm going to read that one again. Bring on the cake with the candles alight to a teacher with purpose who helps us trade right. And thank you for a podcast that's such a delight. Oh man, that's the best, Frank. Thank you, buddy. Holy hamburgers, that's great. Thank you, sir. Gary says, happy birthday, Greg. Hey, buddy. Morg says, thanks, Greg. I'll definitely be purchasing your course. Oh, yeah. It's really inexpensive, Morg, and there's a lot of value there, I promise you. I hope you enjoy it. Kamal says, welcome, Carlos. Absolutely. Carlos is sharp. We had a lesson last night. Wow. Really, really good. Steve says, happy birthday. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Steve says, I exited all of my current positions today based on bearish candle reversals or price failures. DocuSign had an 8.57% gain. Very nice. AMD, just a slight little 0.07% loss. PLTK, about 0.74% loss. PKI, 0.83% loss. PTON, minus 1.21%. So minus 5.01. I'm now back in cash. Well, if I'm reading this right, the losses added up to 5.03. The gains added up to 8.57. That's $3.56 in percentage in profit. So Steve is now in cash. Okay, good. I'll take you off of that. Steve says, it's been a great year and me and the markets are overdue for a drawdown. That's a good way to say it. That's a good way to say it. Kamal says, nice trade, Steve. Steve says, my new book, The Ultimate Guide to Candlestick Chart Patterns, is now live on Amazon. Oh, Steve, could you send me the link for that, bud? Could you send that to my Twitter and so I can post that? I shared that on Google and Facebook, but I wanted to share it here too as well. I'm excited to read that book. Carlos says, you never miss with poems. It's so true. All right, here we go. SPLK. All right, so Lava took SPLK. Looked like a pretty good setup. Bullish engulfing bar, V1, 520 crossover. Bought it at 172.26. Was up earlier, but like a lot of things today, it reversed back down 2.53%. So I'm going to be taking that one off the board, Lava. VIX, I don't think anybody's in VIX. Gold. Morgs bought gold here at 169.73, moved up nicely, but has really come down hard today. So this one is underwater as well. Notice how we opened lower, went up, rejected that 250-day right above us. So that was some major resistance. So I'm going to take that one off the board as well. NVIDIA. Yas and Jatson having a great trade on NVIDIA. Bought here at 542.17 at 613.75. It's up 2.55%. What a monster move, up 11.8% for both. So I'm going to take this one off, but congratulations, Jatson and Yas. Dash is just continuing to move up. Morgs and Gary. So bought the 520 EMA cross here at 186.77. Has just moved up beautifully. This is up 13.55%. So I'll leave Morgs on there because Gary is a former student of mine. So we'll just put that over there. We'll keep Dash there. Zoom, Yas, and Jatson bought here. Nice setup. False breakout to the downside. V2, 381.53. This one is a monster. This one is up 13.81. Is it the one I just did? No. But anyway, congratulations, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take this off the board now. But congratulations on it. Of course, I hope that keeps moving up for you. X, Kamal. Look at this trade, everybody. Look at this trade. Kamal bought X, United Steel Company, at 16.55. It is 18.45. It is up 11.76% in one day, mind you. So congratulations, Kamal. Beautiful trade, my friend. Q's. All right. Frank got in the Q's at 284.60. Way back here in November, it's 335.85. It is down a little bit on the day, but Frank's nicely up on the trade. So nice trade there, Frank. I'm going to take this one off. DocuSign. Steve. Oh, that's right. Steve bought here at 245.61. He got out earlier. Oh, that's on the weekly. Yeah, this was his big, the 8%er. So, all right, Steve told me to take that off. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. SLG, Lava. Ooh, dang. Lava bought here at 64.92. It moved up. He sold half, which I'm glad because this one's down today. So, all right, we're going to take that one off. CRM looks like it's having a good day. Frank bought CRM all the way back here at 216.80. Is that right? This is what I have. 216.80. Moved up nicely. He sold half, up 3.89% today. Fantastic, Frank. Has 10% runner. I hope that keeps going for you, bud. Okay, Teladoc, Frank and Jatton. Frank here at 182, Jatton at 284.85. Down a little bit on the day, but both up on the trade. So congratulations there, gentlemen. AMD, I think this is Steve. Yep, Steve and Yas. So Steve got out of that one, little bit of a loss. So I'm going to be taking that one off for Steve and Yas. Nike, Frank bought Nike at 139.59. It's 141.96. It's down a little bit today. He took it with the 1050 EMA crossover. So a little down on the day, but up on the trade, which is important. Coca-Cola, this is Timothy. Timothy bought Coca-Cola all the way back here at 48.52. It's 50.30. Down a little bit today, but Tim is nicely up on the trade. If he's still in it, maybe you could let me know. Tim is a student of mine, so I'm going to keep that one up. Domino's Pizza, Steve and Frank bought Domino's Pizza at 383.39. It's 378.52, both down today, so I am going to take this one off the board. PKI. Steve bought PKI at 148.64, 146.47. He sold it earlier, so I will be taking that one off the board as well because Steve is going to cash. RDFN, Jatton, and Morgs bought at 82.50. It's 91.44. It's up 1.52% today. Nicely up on the trade, so I will be removing this one today as well. Kamal. Kamal bought this at 126. It's 124.96. It is down today, but I have not seen yet that Kamal is out of it. Have to fill me in on that if that's the case, Kamal. VIAC, Karen got in at 52.50. Sorry, 52.20. It's 58.92. It's up 1% today. Nicely up on the trade, but okay, I'm going to take that one off. NIO, Gary and Morgs. Gary got in at $58. He sold puts expiring 2/12, so those are gone. And he has some others expiring 2/19, which is Friday. As long as it stays above 57.50, it is above. Gary's a student of mine, former student of mine, so we'll keep that on there. And Frank is also in here from 46.16. So Morgs is on that, or Gary's on that one, so we'll keep everybody on that one. Bingo. Oh, that's true. That's totally true. Kamal. All right, we'll have to talk about that. Karen, in at 1209, 1520, up 10% today. Beautiful, beautiful. You know, Kamal just said something so true. He said we should have Frank in there as an honorary student because of the poems, and that's so true. So, Frank, I apologize. Maybe at the end of the day there, if you could tell me everything I erased, and I'll get it back on there. I'm sorry. I just had a lot going on here. It didn't cross my mind, but yes, 100% right, Kamal. Bingo. I don't think anyone's in bingo. Sorry, it's kind of a change up for me today, so I'm a little out of my regular routine. Karen, in at 164.21. It's 172.14, so down a little bit today, but nicely up on the trade. Square, Jatson and Johan in at Johan's in at 237.67. Jatton's in at 245. Sold a quarter of position. It is up another 1.62% today. We'll keep both on because Johan is a student. LITE, Gary sold credit spreads. February 26, 80.75s. It's well in the money. That's nice. So that's looking good. And Gary intraday at 88.22, sold 1/2. So doing really well. Nice trade there on LITE. EQT, Lava. Well, this one's going up well, better than the other one for sure. Bought at 16.93, up nicely off of its high, but still up on the day and up on the trade. NVAX, Frank, I'm going to be leaving this one. Frank's here at 135, huge move up. He sold 90%, kept 10%. So anyway, beautiful trade there. I'm keeping that one. And Frank, if you could remind me of those poems, I should have thought of that. I'm so grateful for Kamal telling me that. It just didn't cross my mind at the moment, but it's 100% true with everything Frank does with the poems and everything. 100%. Kamal is short in spirit on Tesla. Jatson sold half, bought at 840. So, okay, I'm going to take the short spirit off. But you were correct on that for sure, Kamal. Steve, okay. I know he's out of that one. Snow, Morgs with the 520 cross, bought at 303.73. It's 294.83. So that one is down. I'll be taking that one off. ITB, Jatson bought ITB at 59.87. Down 2.87%, but still nicely up on the trade. He did sell half, so I'll be taking that one off. NIU, Jatton bought NIU at 48. It's 49.52. It is up on the day, up on the trade. Roku, Jatton bought Roku at 402. It's 468. Up on the day, up on the trade. Awesome, Jatton. GILT, Karen bought GILT at 1270. It's 1892, down 11% today, but still nicely up on the trade. ISRG had a big day down. Kamal was out at break even. Tracy in at 745.50. So Tracy is a student of mine. So we will leave that one up. Wish. Kamal got stopped out on Wish today. So we'll take that one off. I think we already looked at Light. Yes, we did. So there's two of them. And PSNL. Yas, Johnson, Frank, and Gary got him PSL. Oh, that's the one I have. That's the one I have as well. Okay, so I think that's about it. I think that is about it. I'll have to get those all squared up in a minute. Tracy says, Paxton says happy birthday. Also, he saw Denise and she said to wish you happy birthday. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Tell him thank you for that. Frank says, that's fine, Greg. Don't worry about it. Oh, no, I'd like to, Frank. I'd like to. up to you. You let me know, but you contribute so much, my friend. Kamal says, what my short spirit trade is going to be a monster. I just moved my stop. Okay, we'll get it back up. We'll get it back up. Tracy said, I dropped IRSG today. Still totally profitable for me. Okay. All right, Kamal, I'll get it back up. All right, so we're going to take ISRG out of there. All right, we had a huge snowstorm here today. I walked outside and went, what is happening? Unreal amount of snow. Listen, give me 20 seconds. Speaking of snow, I think my plowy guys, I think I see him pulling up. I have to move something for him. Just amazing the timing on this. Give me 1 sec. Give me 20 seconds. Okay, sorry about that. I am out of my routine today because of all this. All right, Tracy, I got that taken care of. All right, listen, before we start looking at new potential trades today, I like to talk about trader psychology. There's some really good Facebook channels out there, really good Twitter channels out there. The people that post in these channels just put out great words of wisdom for us as traders to read and instill in our minds. And of course, my favorite one is from Steve Burns, who is with us right now. So Steve, this is from the New Traders, Rich Traders channel over on Facebook. It's a great channel. A lot of people over there, really serious. So if you're on Facebook, come on over and apply to the New Traders, Rich Traders. And Steve's there, Kamal's there, I'm there, a bunch of people are there. So I read this, and I have had discussions with several people lately on this exact same subject, so I thought it would be a good one to cover. Holding a winning trade is difficult for new traders as they are afraid of losing their profits. Holding a losing trade is easier for new traders as they prefer not to accept the loss and hope it gets back to even so they can get out with no loss. This is so true. What is it about our human brains and our DNA or evolution or whatever that makes trading so counterintuitive? When you're a new trader, and even when you're an experienced trader, holding on to a winning trade is tough because you don't want to give it back. You don't want to give the profits back. But holding on to a losing trade is much easier. Why is that? Because now you have hope. You have hope that it's going to come back. If we could just rewire our brains to make it easy to hold when we have a winning trade and make it very difficult to hold when we have a losing trade, we would all be much better as traders. Steve Burns always has a great saying: be very impatient with your losers and be very patient with your winners. But unfortunately, I think we're wired as humans to be the opposite. We're very impatient with our winners and very patient with our losers. Remember my analogy, right? You have a garden, you're growing your vegetables or your flowers or whatever you're growing in the garden. What can ruin your garden? Weeds. And in relationship to trading, what are weeds? They're losses. If you let the losses pile up, you let the weeds grow, it's going to smother your whole garden and it's going to ruin everything. So this says new traders, but I would say almost for all traders, holding a winning trade is difficult for traders as they are afraid to lose their profits. Holding a losing trade is easier as they prefer to not accept the loss and hope it gets back to even so they can get out with no loss. It's just the weird thing about hope, but we need to rewire our brains. We need to be comfortable and have it easy when we have profits, but when we have a loss, we have to be very uncomfortable and quickly get out. So remember what Steve says. Be very impatient with your losers and be very patient with your winners. So I had several people that mentioned this to me this week, and it's so true. Their difficulty with, holding on to winning trades. And, me, I've always had that issue, and that's why I phase out, and it really does help me because, you need some large winning trades to pay for all those little losers. And if you always quickly take profits, then you're never going to have those big wins to pay for those little losses that you have. So for me, scaling out, small portion here, small portion there, it's like it gives me the satisfaction of selling something, but in reality, I still have majority of the position. So it's just a little, it's just a little thing that works for me. And I know from other people I've spoken to this week, it works for them as well. So thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Kamal says, I did sell ABMD today at 327, 328.75. Did I not have that one on here? I thought that one does sound. Did I accidentally take you off of that one? I can't remember, Frank. This is a nice little setup here. Oh, no. This is one of those charts I'm having issues with, everybody. I can't put it up there. I have several symbols that it's not updating for today, unfortunately. This is a nice V2. So Frank sold it at 328.75. Steve says you can go broke taking profits if your losses are much bigger than your winners. That's true. There's that old saying, oh, you can never go broke taking profits. That is not true. That is a misnomer. The only way it's true is if you never have losses, but that's not realistic either, right? So you have to have big winners to pay for the losers. So you have to figure out in your psyche how you can hold on to winning trades longer. And for me, the scaling out works well. Yep, this ABMD, you can see it's stuck on the 12th. I've had some real data streaming issues lately. So anyway. All right, let's do a quick look-see before we start looking at new stuff. So Cinemark's doing great, up 3.5%. Johnson & Johnson, if it closes below the 5 EMA, I am going to take profits on this trade with the trailing stop. NVTA, I am going to get out of this trade no matter what. It was a good setup, hasn't moved, hasn't done anything, bearish engulfing, so I will be selling NVTA today for a small loss. PSNL, I have to watch the 50 RSI right here. Currently it's 49.23. I've only had the trade for one day. It's slightly underwater, but if it closes under the 50, I will sell half. Those are my rules. Spotify doing great today. 3 profit targets, up 3.55%. So this one, I'm actually going to be selling this. I'm actually just going to go ahead, take this. I don't like what the market's done today. It's well off of its highs, so I will be locking in profits on Spotify as well. SPY, be buying that again overnight, and that's it. All right. All right, let's take a look at some potentials today. Thought it'd be fun to look at Bitcoin. Tim, if you're out there, on the shorting side, this is the kind of thing that I would look for. To the upside, we know about false breakouts to the downside and V1s. Well, this is a false breakout to the upside. You can see it went higher than all these highs over here. And looks like we are very close to a V1 on the downside. It's still above 70 RSI, so I would not short this, but I saw this and thought of you. False breakouts to the downside, V1s, V2s, we take them all the way. We take them all the time when we have bullish setups, but this to me would be considered a bearish. False breakout to the upside, rejection of the third ATR channel, and a possible V1. I'm not going to short this, but I just want to show this to Tim. Facebook. I do kind of like Facebook today for a couple of reasons. We have a 1050 EMA crossover. This is the pink line crossing over the dotted line. We have sideways motion, and we have a fractal. A fractal is when we have a high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. It is green today, so we have a 1050 EMA crossover. We have a trigger of a fractal. The relative strength is very good. It's up today on a down day. We're above 50 RSI. So I do like Facebook here. Look at TLT. My gosh. What I really want, I'm not going to buy this today, but what I really wanted to point out on TLT were, see these big gaps? See the big gap here? See the other big gap here? You know, it always stuck with me when I read Market Wizards. Someone says, I really look for multiple gaps in a row to look for bottoms. Does that mean this is going to be a bottom? No, I would still wait for a close back above 30, but you know, it caught my eye. I'm not going to do anything with it, but it did catch my eye because of the big gaps, because unfilled gaps tend to get filled. So, but I would still wait for a close back above 30 RSI. TTCF. All right. This is one that Johan has taken many times. We have a 520 crossover, which does backtest well. I checked with Kamal earlier. Let's take a look over on the weekly. Weekly is just kind of, you know, it's had some resistance here at the 1 ATR channel on the weekly, but it is still in the value zone. 520 cross is good. We do have some volume also. So this one is interesting to me. So far. And then lastly, Verizon. Here we have a double bottom with a bullish divergence. We have a low with deep red. We have a rally into some green, not a lot, but some. We have come down lower than the previous low, equal to or lower. We did go under the 30 RSI today. Intraday, Carlos, if you're out there, you can see during the day it got to 29.09, and right now it looks like it is possibly going to hold above the 30 RSI. So that is a double bottom with the bullish divergence with a trigger. So let's take a look at UUP going forward. I don't see anything on UUP here. Dada, I do not see anything that jumps out at me. Camp, do not see anything there either. SWIR, this looks pretty good. I mean, this is a false breakout to the downside and a V2. Unfortunately, this only trades 172,000 shares. So for me, it's not enough, but it is a good legitimate setup if you don't have volume filters like I do. You know, my minimum is about 250,000 shares traded, but this is a nice setup. I mean, it is a good. We came down to the value zone. We rallied, made a lower high. We washed out the first low. We have a V2 here, false breakout from this low here as well, back over 50 RSI. It all looks pretty good. It's just not enough volume for me. ICE, I don't see anything there. Levi, big day on Levi Strauss. Wow. Big. Goldman Sachs is just a monster. Oh, look at this. The reason I put this up here was for Tim. Tim, you see we have the high here with the high green MACD bars. We sold off. We came back to green. Now we are higher than this high, but the greens are lower, way lower than the first screens. This is a double top with a bearish divergence. We have an ATR divergence. This high here, we were at 5.5 ATRs. Here we're higher and we're only at just barely over the third. We have an ATR RSI divergence. Here's the high. Look how high the RSI was here. Now we're higher. RSI is way down here. So this is a setting up, in my opinion, to be a bearish chart. However, there is no trigger yet. Always need a trigger. Walt Disney, I was thinking about Walt Disney all weekend. We had this big move down on Friday, bearish engulfing, V1, false breakout to the downside, under 70, over 70. Here we have this trend line, goes through all of this right here. If we get back up to this trend line, that will be resistance above, or if we get back to halfway of the big down bar on Friday. If that happens, I will go intraday and look for a short, but nothing there right now. All right, so it comes down to, for me today, Facebook. I'm not going to buy this, however, if we don't close above the fractal high. So that's 237.80. It's 237.83. It's hanging right there. In addition to that, though, it does have the 1050 crossover, which I like. TTCF. I think I'm going to let that one go. It's not bad, but for me, and Verizon. So I think what I'm going to do today, everybody, is I'm going to take a half a position, a 1/2 position in Facebook, and I'm going to take a 1/2 position in Verizon. You know, I don't usually like to take more than one trade per day, but if I take a half and a half, it equals one trade from a risk standpoint. So looks like half a position in Facebook if it closes above 273.80, and a half position in Verizon as long as it closes over 30 RSI. Okay, CNK I'm keeping. Johnson & Johnson, I better get rid of this and get going on this right now. All right, so my Johnson & Johnson is gone. NVTA, I am also getting rid of NVTA, taking a loss on that. PSNL, I have to watch this one for the 50 RSI, so I do need to watch that one. SPY, I'm buying automatically. Apple, I don't have anymore. What do we have? We have 5 minutes to go. Okay, so really, and Spotify, I am getting rid of Spotify as well. Okay. So let me go back here, Facebook and Verizon. So Facebook, doesn't look like Facebook is going to close above my fractal point. Yeah, I'm not buying it unless it closes above 273.60, so that will be close. And I will be buying Verizon, half a position. So I just need to watch Facebook here. It needs to close over 273.80. It's very close. PNSL that's going to be a close one too. So I have to watch both of those. Kamal says Ollie. You remember, Kamal, I can't look at that one on this particular unless it's stuck on yesterday's bar. Unfortunately. SYRS. I don't know what it is with these smaller stocks. It's not updating. I really apologize. I've been on the phone with these guys. Downloaded. For some reason, it's not picking these up. They've had some real data problems. I really apologize, Johan. Well, PNSL might hold. Facebook does look like it's going to hold. So I'll go ahead and buy my half position of Facebook. I think PSL may hang in there. $49.86. This is going to be last minute, this one. Well, I'll do my best. Right now it looks like it's going to go under. So I'm just going to have to pull the trigger, sell half. Done. All right. There we go. So I did buy Facebook, half a position at 273.87. Verizon I bought at 54.12. And where's my SPY trade? It's not on here yet. Oh, there it is. My SPY trade is at 392.30. So new SPY trade here. 392.30. Oops. Okay. Verizon, I bought at 54.12 with the under over 30 with the bullish engulf, or I'm sorry, with the bullish divergence. And Facebook barely held above there. Woof. Half position, 273.87 with the 1050 EMA crossover and the trigger of the fractal with the relative strength. Okay. So, if any of you out there are in any of these trades, on my trades, let me know. I'll put them up. Any of my past or current students, if you have any new trades that you'd like me to update on the board, this is the time to do it. Real quick, just want to remind everybody, that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I teach a 15-hour course, 5 sessions, 3 hours. I think it's a really good course. I teach you everything I've learned over the last 25 years and all the approaches that I use in my trading. If you take the course, I know you're going to be a better trader when you're done. I'm certain of that. So if you are interested, just send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do, just reach out and say, Greg, possibly interested in your one-on-one course. I'll reply back and say, great, let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call's free. Just want to talk to you, learn more about you and your trading and what you hope to achieve and your challenges. Then it's a good time for you to ask me about the course, right? And then when we're done with the call, you can think about it. And if in the future you say, yeah, I want to take that course, just email me back and we'll get it scheduled. And then alternatively, if you're not able to financially do the one-on-one course, again, I do have my first online course up on Udemy. I think it's $13, talks about the deep dip buy approach. I think you'll really like it. And if you're interested in that, the link's in the description of this video as well. So sorry, I was a little off today because of the new format and all this kind of stuff. But going forward with the extra time that we have, I'm just hoping that I can answer questions. I'm hoping I can look at more stock symbols prior to the close. And I think that will help. I really do think it will help to be able to analyze more stocks, answer more questions that people have. So hope you're okay with the current format. So Dan is out of Johnson & Johnson, and so am I. Kamal says, no trades today. Going to watch FBTTCF OLLI for better risk levels. Sounds good. Gary is out of Dash. Okay, so Gary's out of that one. I'm going to be taking that off. Nice trade, Dash. Nice trade, Gary and Morgs. Out of NVTA. Yep. So wait, who is that? That's Gary. And Quad and Johan are in there. So let me know what you guys are going to do because you are both students and in Verizon. All right. Quad says, hey, Greg, I got out of NVTA. I am Verizon with you. Okay, you got out of NVTA. All right. So that leaves Johan. And you're in Verizon. Okay. Gary says, Greg, I'm thinking about leaps on UVXY. It's January 21st, $20, 12 cents. Well, so this is a VIX product, volatility product. Yeah, hard to know a year from now what it's going to be, but we certainly are back at kind of historic support on UVXY. How much more is it going to go down? I don't know. We have a double bottom with a bullish divergence and a missing right shoulder, which is even better. It means we made a low with red, deep red, that is. We've rallied to green. Now we've come lower, but we don't even have any red. This is very, very bullish. This is on the weekly, by the way. You know, I kind of agree with you, Gary. You know, I don't know if I'm going to make that trade, but you know, there is kind of a floor level area where the VIX gets, and there's kind of like a built-in type of floor. I don't know if we're there right now, but we all know what VIX can do when it rallies. So yeah, let me know if you do that. Carlos says, the training is extremely excellent and well put together. I have learned a lot within the first Skype lesson and files that are added to the training. I can't wait for more mentoring. Oh, thank you, Carlos. Appreciate it. Yep, you did really, really well last night. Excellent. Really excellent. Carlos says, it's making me extremely anxious to start trading with the knowledge that has been provided so far. Thank you, Greg. You're the best. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate that. And my suggestion would be, we didn't even get through the first lesson. You remember? We're still talking about deep dip buys. We haven't even talked about 0.45 ATR profit targets or anything like that. I would at least wait till we get through that first lesson before you put anything to use. And there's not a lot of deep dip buys out here right now, although I did buy one today. Gary and Quad and I bought one today with double bottom, bullish divergence, under 30, over 30, and almost a V1. I guess I better put here, this is a half position. I bought half. And then Facebook, I also bought a half. I don't really like to take more than one position a day, one full position. So, 2 1/2 positions are like taking one position. So that's kind of how I look at it. Okay. Timothy said, I will add that one. Oh, okay. You're talking about Disney probably, I hope. Yeah. All right. So I took all of Steve's trades off. I took Tracy's off. Frank, you just let me know, bud. You want me to put those back on? Send me an email or send me a message on Twitter. I will get them all updated because I didn't even think of that. I would have my mind trained on something else, but Kamal is 100% right. Everything you do for this channel, you definitely should be honorary student member. And I feel embarrassed that didn't even cross my mind, but Kamal is so right. So you just let me know, okay, bud? So I hope this format's going to be okay. Like I said, I want to take the extra time that this is going to free up. Look at more of your stock symbols, have more time to analyze them, possibly analyze some of the trades, from the candidates each day that I didn't take. And kind of what I'm hoping there is, if I don't take several trades because they're chasey, maybe the next day, if they don't go up much or they do and they come all the way back down, it will kind of start to calibrate in your head why it's tough to take chasey trades. Or if it rejects the 50 RSI and it rejects the 50 SMA, why I wouldn't take it. Maybe the next day it will go up, but I think more times than not, you'll see the reason I didn't take it, you'll see the next day reject it as well. Who knows, but I'm just trying to add more learning to the channel and just, use the extra time to help teach you and for us all to do better. Kamal says, Tracy, nice trade on ISRG, 100%. 100%. So what's going on after hours? Let's see. Apple is down. The Dow's up slightly. Sold half of the PSNL there, so I'll just do another little recap. CNK doing fine, doing great. PSNL, I got to have half today because it went above 50 and below 50. Did not take out my end of day stop, which is halfway the washout bar, but it did reject the 50. That's a warning sign. That's why I exited half. Spotify, I am out of 100%, so I'm going to take that one off the board. That was a great trade. SPY, of course, the overnight SPYR. Facebook's new entry today because of the 1050 EMA and the fractal. The high with the 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right. And Verizon half position here as well with the double bottom, bullish divergence, and the V1. So we'll see how it works out. Okay. Gary says, thanks, Greg. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day. Enjoy the snow. Thank you, Gary. There's a lot of snow to enjoy. Hope you're having a good day. But Timothy says, the 2 tickers to watch for shorts. Oh, right. Yep. Disney was one of them. And was it Bitcoin? Yeah. And Bitcoin was the other. So Bitcoin with the false breakout to the upside. Did this have a V1 though? Yesterday's close was 45,950 and it closed at 48. Close 48,820 and it closed at 47,775. So yes, this is a legit short. I mean, you know, if you're so inclined, but it was a false breakout to the downside with the V1, but it did hold the 70 RSI. So that's why I didn't do anything with it. And the other short was Disney. We had the big down move on Friday. I was really looking forward to shorting this if we could have rallied back up, maybe got rejected by the third ATR channel, maybe got rejected halfway of the washout bar. Even if it got there, it doesn't mean I would take the trade on the daily per se, but if it got to that area, I would go down to a smaller time frame, like a 39-minute bar, a 25-minute bar, or even a 5-minute bar and look for an intraday short. But it continued on the way down. But this trend line here, now that we lost it, coming back up anywhere from here into this area right here is where I would be looking for a short. So we'll watch those. Okay, well, listen, I'm going to leave you off with this. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. So try to go out, do something for something nice for a human today. Try to go out, do something nice for an animal today. Obviously, the human's going to appreciate it. The animal will appreciate it. And it will make you feel better as well, right? And if we all started doing that, like Martin Kornfeld says, the world would be a better place. So I always like to leave everybody off with that. So I appreciate you coming today. I hope you're going to be okay with the new format, but it seemed inevitable to me just from a logistics standpoint. So I appreciate Leva giving me the great idea this morning. I read that and went, oh yeah, that's it. That makes sense. All right. So have a good rest of your day. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. It's very kind of you. Really appreciate it. 1 year older, hopefully 1 year wiser. That's for sure as well, right? So I'm going to put my hiking boots on. I'm going to go tromping around in all of this snow. Hopefully I don't fall and hopefully they don't find me in the spring. All right. But if they do, please position correctly, pick clean trades, get out when you're supposed to. And like I mentioned earlier, be impatient with those losses and be patient with your winners, right? It's good advice. All right, everybody, take care. Really appreciate you being here today and hopefully see you tomorrow. Take care now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and Forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.